Hey, good morning, guys. This is February the 27th, and we're tapping in with you guys from Houston, Texas. Just arrived here not too long ago, looking to tap in for my brother's wedding. So we're gonna be down here for a little bit. It's kind of noisy in here because it's the airport, but still gonna get you guys what you guys need. So brace for that. Here we go. All right, so out the gate here, a lot of the things that we've been kind of letting you guys know, the few changes that we've had as regards to some of the things that we're making a priority on our list as regards to certain equities versus other equities, and who is going to be new on our watch list as opposed to what was previous. That panned out actually pretty well already. We're going to bring some of these to the front of the classroom, but we wanted you guys to know that this is kind of why we put them in the list. Some of the things that have been kind of already played out or moved to the upside considerably. Scaling out of those, taking profits on those. There might be more room to the upside, but we want more explosive growth. And we want serious upside potential. So, I love traveling. That's one thing about moving about. Not like a good change of environment to give you a nice kick in the butt. But yeah, let's start out with NTNX, and this is kind of why our system works extremely well. Even though you have an earnings catalyst, you still get kind of a heads up. Now, you have to set your risk accordingly. Of course, it cannot be. We don't do any of that YOLO stuff, right? It's clean, precise, calibrated risk to reward, and it worked out really well here. So you see that overall, that moving average clouds got a very nice uptrend here set in. It seems to be around the September-October timeframe. And then on the daily, you see right here this outsized candle getting absolutely washed with a nice pop to the upside. And you'll see here the bid ask is letting us know that it's popped from 69.35 to around 80. Go look at the flex grid. That earnings basically absolutely took off and ran to the upside. Also, it came in with a plateau, which is we like to see stuff like that for continued move to the upside, right? Really bullish. We love to see stuff like that. So that's why we've been adding it, because while everyone's screaming, the house is on fire, stuff like this is screaming to the upside, right? Same story here on this ticker as well. Look at HOOD. Now, we did give you guys a heads up on these previously because the setup candles were already there. This one is open waters. It doesn't have earnings, right? You just get a nice clean setup. Very clean. So, very nice pullback for about a week and a half. Right, setting in prime territory as a drop. We see here that this setup candle is right here. Of course, it washed it, and we're already starting to see some follow through on the bid and ask pre-market 51.80. It's looking pretty crisp, but you guys got to see that like a couple days ago. So, nice follow through, very nice. It's going to be gap. So expect to see a little pullback in this morning. Get up, slight pullback. Don't freak out. It's probably the expected. People taking profits, as you should. If you get a nice gap like that, it's expected. That's exactly why it pulls back. So be on the gun on that in the morning. If you're not, just kind of wait, settle in, wait for it to hit VWAP, and then we'll see what goes on from there. Moving right along, we've got a couple other in plays, some of which we shouted out to you guys, some of which just kind of came on the radar. We'll bring Johnson & Johnson back to the front of the classroom as usual. And we told you guys that this thing could be setting up potentially. We'll see how it played out. Right. We're letting you guys know that nice drop for we were taking profits on Johnson & Johnson essentially in the November time frame. We essentially rolled those contracts around 4 times. Normally you don't get to see big moves like that carry on, but shout out to the team for holding those all the way through to fruition. So shout out to you guys there. Now, Here, though, it's extended already pretty much to the upside. So any pullback, you're in serious danger territory getting back to the moving average cloud. You just got to watch stuff like that, right? Next one, CCI, right? Again, in kind of danger territory. This one's already triggered, so we shouted this out to you a couple days ago. If you didn't jump on it, just settle on it. Don't rush. Don't rush in for the slaughter. You completely ruin your risk to reward if you rush in late. So be a two-bar professional. Do not rush in for the slaughter. If you don't get it, there's plenty of opportunities. Just settle in and be patient. CMG, right? CMG giving us, I would also say be patient on this one as well, is giving you a little give here, pushing up into that moving average cloud, getting a little, bars are going to be a little extended. We do have a mark down there, but ideally we want more meat on the bone before we commit. So just, again, this one's be patient, let's wait and see. Got CRM. So Salesforce is giving you a nice setup, right? We've got an overall trend to the upside, right? Just using the technicals. But there is, as you can see right here, it's a nice clean level that we just want to wait till it commits and breaks above before we make a decision on that, right? Patience is key in a lot of these circumstances, and giving it a little bit more wiggle room. We still have a lot of risk and reward if it enters into that rotational zone anyway. So if it goes into that rotational zone, you have a lot of wiggle room to the upside. Will you be playing it bullish? Any pullbacks to VWAP are valid. Earnings also in the rearview mirror, so you don't have to worry about increased pop volatility from there. Okay. TJX, excuse me. So TJX, something that's been coming on our radar a lot. As you can see here, very, very nice pop for earnings. But as we've been telling you guys, like so often, people key in on, news events, catalysts, earnings. Doesn't really matter, right? Most of the time, what's going on underneath the surface is liquidity. At key points, liquidity. You can see outsized liquidity at a key point, and it gets washed. What happens? Drastic follow through when people scramble to get out of those positions. Okay, call it margin, call it money, call it whatever you want. It doesn't really matter. Liquidity is there. You see it. It gets washed. People are trying to unwind, and it's at a key zone. So your rotation is still in play from a fundamental standpoint, and then from a behavioral standpoint, the liquidity is in play, right? Then when you add the catalyst there of the earnings, it's a nice pop to the upside. Very, very, very drastic. So 123 going all the way up to 128. You got a heads up on that. Pretty smooth. TGT, like Target, right? You do get an opportunity to short the rip there. It is rip, but there's no key indication to short that. So pushes up, no key opportunity to short that rip. There you go. But now you're looking at a blowout. This is the reason why we're bringing it to the front of the classroom. You're in blowout territory as of right now. SRE. So SRE, we already kind of told you guys about this massive blowout candle. Good look to buy at 3 ATR, especially with earnings like this. And you're seeing this closing the gap, moving back to a moving average cloud for SRE is in effect. It is in effect. So if you didn't take that, you could take that potentially as a trigger. Let's go see what it is on the flex grid. You're still well within the rounds if it opens flat here. Risk to reward is defined already. So obviously the lows is where you would want to let it go, or a third way to the lows. So we don't want it to get all the way to the lows. 1/3 of the direction of that move to the lows if it's an extended large candle. Everything else is kind of like we can bring it to the front of the classroom. You do have this setup right here. It is kind of a mixed bag for EQIX, right? It's uptrending, 21 pair moving average. Nice pullback, new set in for a new trend to the downside. The only problem is it's kind of a mixed bag. So in some of these, you could have a trigger up or down, and just take whatever direction it gives you and go from there, right? Your risk is obviously going to be defined by the other end of that of those two candles. So let's say, for example, if it gets above there, awesome. If it gets below here, awesome. I'd actually almost say gets below the setup candle. Lowe's. We did bring Lowe's to the front of the classroom. Yeah, so Lowe's, Home Depot kind of deal. Dropped nice push back into moving average cloud. You can check to see potentially a rotation. It already started to tap that, and it looks to rotate down anyway. So from a technical standpoint, it holds up pretty well, but not something that we're looking at risk to reward wise. That Sherwin-Williams trade. What did we do? Did we try to short that? Yeah, I think we did try. Did we try to short that? Oh yeah, we tried to short it below here, kind of peekabooed us in, got us in there. So this is an opportunity to take this to the downside with a lot better risk reward here. We're probably going to stop pulling things that are just right brand new break. We want to see it actually tap it because it could, this peekabooed us in and started rotating, right? And that's kind of what you don't want to see. So probably won't even look to take that either, because even if you take it to the downside, unless you're getting in for intraday down to the rotational zone, not really looking. There's too many conflictions, right? You got unbalanced volume to the upside. You got squeeze with momentum rolling to the upside, but you're looking for a downside setup and a downtrend, right? There's too many confluences that are mismatched. So this is something to watch out for. Okay. Yeah, so we've been doing this for about a year now. We've been trading pretty regularly for about 2 years. I would say we have a lot more to improve. I'm actually currently reading the playbook by Mike Bellafiore at S&B Capital. I actually thoroughly enjoy reading on the plane because it's like the only time I actually get to actually tap in and take some time to yourself and do what you got to do. So yeah, that's we've been reading a lot on the plane. Probably about 100 pages of reading. I mean, it was a 7-hour flight, right? It's pretty insane. But I would take this moment to kind of talk with you guys, talk at you guys, because the markets aren't going anywhere, and so this is one of the very few opportunities that have a very low barrier to entry. But a learning curve that you can always constantly improve. And part of that constantly improving, I'm going to take an excerpt from his book. Essentially, you need to basically be a drone. This needs to be. I have my training rules. I set my training rules, and that's my edge, and know what my edge is. So it's not that the other traders that are good are smarter than you, are faster than you, right? They've just gone through their playbook, identify the trades that they know work for them, right, have the highest probability, and they avoid the trades that don't work for them, have a lower probability, right? What might work for somebody else probably doesn't work for you. That's your alpha versus their alpha. And if you can find those things, find that playbook, identify that playbook, and use it, then we're talking about you getting on a rep to becoming a better trader. Okay, so you gotta kind of start taking these things seriously. I know, like over the last 2 years, we've been putting in the reps, setting in the reps, and just kind of bringing videos to you guys daily. We could talk about some of the we're gonna bring this on the classroom. Talk about some of the plays that we've got on currently. We've got Raytheon, we got you, and we also pulled up SoFi. Right. Ideally, we wanted to do that CCI. Yeah, we originally wanted to do not CCI. What was it? Hood. That's what it was. We wanted to do a hood. Right. We really wanted to do a hood. It just made sense, right? You drop this drastic, right? Somebody's gonna want to pick this puppy up, especially like you see the level here. Like I'm just bring it to the front of the classroom. It stopped on a dime. Setup candle right on a dime. Right? Look at that. You can almost take it down here if you want. Either way, here, let's move it down here. Continuity. All right. Either way, it's close to this level. Nice setup candle here, and it gets washed. And then like the follow through is almost immediate. Like it gets washed. Nice pullback to VWAP. You take your entry, reduce your risk a little bit, and then bam, right? It just absolutely gaps the next day. You can do this like if let's say for example that's your highest probability. You could just take those and look to day trade the setups when they break. Just like I'll take the break, cool, I know what to do, pull to the front of the classroom and say, okay, I'm waiting for a pullback to VWAP, waiting for a pullback to 3 ATR. So if we go over here and look, pullback to VWAP, pretty nice pullback to VWAP. It even pulls back a little bit. Now what you can, this is where I'm talking about, you can set your rules. You can say, listen, this is a multi-week trade, but to increase my risk reward, I'm going to just wait for a pullback to VWAP. Or I'm going to wait for a pullback underneath VWAP and wait, let's say, for example, for the whole moving average, the whole to trend green. And that'll be my first buy. Like, I like that one too. It's not too bad if you believe that you're too close to VWAP or you're going to break VWAP. Totally okay. Just whatever. That's your alpha. That's how you get edge, even on me, right? So, like here, you can actually see like day trade wise, right? Coming out, if you're watching, let's say it's on your hot list, and you're like, okay, these threw in a setup candle. I'm gonna watch these stocks tomorrow. These ones, I'm gonna bring them to the front of the classroom on my multi-flex grid, and I'm gonna watch it. This setup right here, the way it pulled back, and then you see it stack red like that, and then just get washed by a green. Yeah, I'm taking out like 7 days of Sunday, right? Not just because of the follow through. But you see the red here, right? Red. They're nice and stacked all the top. So if you get one candle that washes all three to one like that, yeah, it's off to the races all day. And then that's what it does. Like 1, 2, 3, off to the races. And these are tight in the morning. So loving it. I mean, the difference between high to low, yeah, 47.38 down to 46.51, right? And then one 2-minute candle goes green, pops those two. So yeah, you're almost off to the races. That's a good look. That's a very good look. Shout out to Oliver Velez as well, teaching us how to day trade. So like that. When one green takes out 3 reds, that's good. We like that, right? And then you can take the VWAP balance trade. You got engulfing right here. That's pretty sweet.
Attention in the terminal. Alaska Flight 453 is now boarding our group tower rows. All ticket and confirmed passengers make your way to A3G for boarding.
So you could, like, I'm looking at this as it comes down in here. This is probably something we take, but we have a pretty tight stop. As it starts to pull back, we just let it go right there. Right now, this going reverse. If you get stopped out, that's one thing also too that I learned in the book, that if some people are like going to dwell on the stop, but one of the best traders is he almost takes it the other direction. If he gets stopped out, saying, "Hey, this is confirmation that hey, I'm wrong." Me being wrong means I'd be right the other direction. I like that here. Nice pullback underneath VWAP. Nice green candle set in by red. Nice fall through there. You could actually take that for a nice dub, right? Pretty sweet dub. And I also realize how tight they take their trades. It's not they hold them into two standard deviations. They might just take this bounce, right? 10 minutes, dunzo runs up. And that's something I learned too. People take different setups to be either aggressive in a tight time frame or aggressive over the whole length of the move, right? And I really respected that perspective in the book for sure. But yeah, HOOD trending up, and as it should be.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a reminder that we're currently boarding all customers or groups.
Let's see. I think we already brought him to the front of the class. Oh, PSA, public storage, we did not. So, nice rip up here. We'd love to see it get below this green. It's already starting to push that direction, increasing your, but you are increasing your risk to reward because it's all the way up here. So you could say from pivot high to entry, 1/3 the distance from that high could be your stop, right? That's kind of how I was reading the book. If you want to reduce risk, that's one way you could. That's one way you could do it. All right. Well, that's what we got for you guys. If you guys got any questions, just blast me, hit me up in the comments. For those who have my phone number directly, call me. You know me. I'd love to talk to you guys. But while I wait for the rest of my family to get here, me get a rental car and all this good stuff, I just want to make a quick video. I'm gonna post this puppy, and my computer and phone are probably gonna die. So heck yeah. I want to do this one for you guys. Even though we're on the road, we're still using this opportunity to shoot you on the markets, man. Just plug in every day, do work every day, make yourself better with every single rep. Take that good trade that you need to take. That you could say, that's a good trade, whether it's profitable or not. It doesn't really matter. If it's a good trade, if you know that it's in your book, if you know that this is something that you're supposed to be doing. Right, this is the trade you're supposed to be taking. Then take it. Right, and then set your risk accordingly, make your plan accordingly, and act accordingly. Right, because the beautiful thing about trading is it's a rule book for yourself. Right, just like with everything else in life, most of the time you're making agreements with other people. Hey, I'm going to show up to work on time. Hey, I'm going to, do this job that I said I could do. Hey, I'm going to be here at this time. Well, trading is one of the few things where you prove to yourself if you're being honest to yourself. Right? Nobody else is going to come behind you and say, tap, 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 tap. Hey, did you set your stop loss accordingly? No, they're not going to do that. Why? Because they're trying to take your money. So you have to be your own boss here. Literally, you have to put the discipline in and just, make your rule book. That's why you have rules to assist you with that. Thanks, guys. MC Fire here, and we'll catch you guys on the flip side from Houston. Peace.